I'm Rich Zatkowski, and welcome to another interesting episode of Homeland Improvements. We're at Paws Chicago. What a beautiful place for members of your family, pets. I don't call them pets, I call them members of the family. You know, this place is not like a shelter, it's like a hotel for these pets that come here, the ones that need to be adopted. But before we get started with today's show, I really want to mention something that's very important. If you have a pet at home right now, get them spayed and neutered. Do you know that there's like millions of pets every year that are born, and there's not enough people to adopt these pets? They become parts of the family. This place, Paws, is a no-kill shelter. So when they come here, I almost wonder why a pet would want to leave here. It is like a hotel room. But you know what? Pets need love and food and treats and fun. They need a home too. If you're looking for a pet, we're walking through Kitty City right now. This is the most interesting place I have ever seen. We have every kind of cat that you can imagine here. But you know what? I know what you're looking for. You're looking for that pet that'll give you love. And every one of them here will give you the love you want. Come over to Paws Chicago. It's a no-kill shelter. It's a non-for-profit organization. Come in and take a look at what they have here. Hopefully you'll adopt a member of your family, like I have done in the past with places like this. But even if you don't adopt one, if you don't find what you really want, buy a t-shirt or a calendar. It's a non-for-profit organization, and they need every penny they can get to make an environment like this for these unwanted pets. I don't think they're unwanted. Come on down to Paws Chicago. We're in Kitty City, and I got to tell you a little story, folks. About a year and a half ago, I didn't adopt a cat. I actually found a cat at a construction site, and it was a kitten. He was about 4 weeks old, and he was barely alive. And he was exhaling more than he was inhaling when he was breathing. If I would have left him there, I don't think he would have made it till the morning. We brought him home, and I was going to bring him to a place like this. But I brought him home, gave him water. Just put water. If you ever have a dehydrated animal, never force water into their mouth. Just put water in their mouth so they'll be able to take the water themselves. And by doing that, he came to, and he was fine. And by morning, he became part of our family, and that's Mr. Kitty. And he gets along fine with my dogs. You know, one thing I want to say about pets, they get along with anybody. This guy wants to go somewhere. You don't want to be with me? Go ahead. Take a hike. They just stay long enough to mess up your clothes. And I purposely wore black so I can get stuff all over my clothes. But they are the sweetest things around. If you're looking for a true friend that'll never stab you in the back, that'll never hurt you, come to Paws and get a dog or a cat. They'll love you for who you are. And this hotel room is named Mr. Itchy Room. These are the cats that don't scratch much, but they're in Mr. Itchy's room. This is so cute. They all have their own little pillow, their own little place to hide if they want to be left alone. They don't want to be bothered by another cat. What I find real interesting in Paws of Chicago is they even have a number of kitty litter boxes in these pens so that the cat doesn't have to go in one, all the cats don't have to go into one box. So they kind of actually personalize it. Like I said earlier, folks, this is like a hotel room for members of the family. This room is called Miss Kitty's Senior Cat House. These rooms are donated by people that donate money so cats can have a nice environment. In fact, this one here looks like my Mr. Kitty at home. But I love what they did with this room. Every one of these rooms here at Paws of Chicago, they have like a different theme inside here. I call this the Kramer room because it has all kinds of different levels for the cat on the walls and all over the place. and they can do whatever they want. It's so cool to have, they just come up to you, folks. I mean, this is heart-wrenching. If I didn't have Mr. Kitty at home, I'd be bringing one of these guys home with me. Look how sweet they are. They just come up to you. They're looking to become a family member at your home. Come on down to Paws of Chicago and take one of these beautiful animals home with you. Like I say, my cat has brought me a lot of pleasure, a lot of fun, a lot of love. He's really a cool guy. I mean, I really fell in love with him. A lot of you out there have a scratching post for your cat. Even if they're declawed like mine is, this scratching post here is cool. They love to do that. Well, I added him. I made the whole thing. I got a piece of 3/4 inch or 1 inch plywood. I got a 4x4, some carpeting. But I added a 1x1 on the top, cut it on a 45-degree angle on each side, and I added a bunch of things to it. I added the one toy that he really liked a lot was this thing. I don't know why, but he liked that a lot. The traditional carrot or mouse or whatever it is, you could see he's actually tore it apart, tore it to pieces, which is cool. I put a feather duster on here. I don't know what this is. It was something off of something that was just like yarn or something hanging, and he found it when I was folding clothes. My cat loves to watch me fold clothes and lay on top of the clothes as I'm folding them. He loves to play with socks. I'm going to spin this around a little bit. He's into this thing really big time. He plays on this thing every day. If you have a cat, and if you're cat people, I'm sure you know this, but like the fishing pole type of thing is big. They love that. He even plays with the slinky and all this other stuff. But he goes to this thing at least once or twice a day. He pulls this thing, he spins it around and all kinds of things like that. I like doing things that'll make them happy because of them making us so happy. Kitty Twirl by the Homeland Improvements television show. This little BZB is a Lopso Opso. He's 9 years old. He's 14 pounds. He's just looking for a great home. What's really cool about Paws of Chicago, they have volunteers that come in and actually come in and play with these members of the family. So they get love here. They learn what love is all about here. No matter where they came from, they come to a place where life is good for them. And hopefully you'll come here and adopt one of these great pets, or as I call them, members of the family. No matter where these pets come from, no matter what the environment was, they come here and they get no abuse. The only thing they get is loves and kisses and hugs and a little belly scratching, and this is what they want to do. They want to have fun. And you know what? If no matter how rough your day was, if you have this little guy at your house, when you come home, he'll make you laugh. He'll make you forget. He'll de-stress you because he'll want to play. This is Wooly, and he has been out of the cage because people are looking to adopt him. Look how sweet he is. He takes control of a situation, and he knows how to walk with you. Even though other dogs are barking and everything else. You know, sometimes people tell me, you know, pets at a shelter are real bad. They're mean, they're nasty. Look at him. Isn't he sweet? He just wants to go home with somebody. He's been upstairs. They took him up on the rooftop, and people are thinking about adopting him. Isn't he cute? You're such a pretty boy. We'll give you some love. You're the pretty boy. You're the pretty dog. When I used to have a body shop, folks, I had a number of shepherds. They were my protectors at the body shop. And one time there was a guy came in and really gave me a hard time, and my shepherd saw it. Shepherd wanted to tear this guy apart. These are very, very protective dogs. That's why they bred them. In World War II, the German Shepherd was the dog in the war. They're very smart. He's looking for love. That's all he wants. He wants love, but he's very protective, very affectionate. He wants to play. Shepherds are the greatest dogs around. I had a number of them, and they've always given more love than you can ever imagine. But then again, every pet here at Paws Chicago will give you more love than you'd ever expect. My little buddy, the German Shepherd. You love him? The good thing to do when you come here is do some serious belly scratching. Right? Isn't that what you want? Huh? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good doggy. Yeah. You know what? He's really a gorgeous dog, but you can see he's very timid and he's very scared. He's frightened by people. Somebody had to do something to him. You know what? If you bring him home, you have to give him a lot of love. And let me tell you a little bit about my miniature pinscher I have. When I got him, he looked just like this dog. And from the minute I brought him home, I kept saying, Blackie's a good boy. I changed his name and everything. And he just loves to this day to hear, Blackie's a good boy. His tail goes crazy. So if you bring a dog like this home that's scared, you got to give him a lot of love and you got to talk nice to him. This little one is Celeste, and she's so sweet. She matches my coloring. I think I need a little a brighter, whiter color. But you know what? I want to mention one thing. If you'd like to contribute to a nonprofit organization that helps animals, someone like Celeste here that loves to play and loves to run around and have fun and really make you laugh at home, you can donate anything. In fact, if you donate enough money here, it's a non-for-profit organization, but they'll actually name a room after you, or you can have the naming rights to the room and name it whatever you want. A lot of people do that here. They need money to help keep these pets alive and place them in great homes. You know what? We had a great time here at Paws Chicago today, and if you come down here, I know you're going to find someone like Celeste here to adopt. We hope you're enjoying today's show. Paws Chicago, what a beautiful place. Every show we're going to be doing this year, we're going to be doing a thing called Test Drive and Review. In fact, this is one of my family members. This is my Yorkshire Terrier. Her name is the Duchess of York, but we call her Fergie. She's a royal bitch. She's blind. She's been with me for a long time. She's about 15 years old. Test Drive and Review today. We're doing the 2008 CTS Cadillac. It's a V6D performance sedan. It's got a high performance package built in, and this is just a phenomenal vehicle. You know, when you say Cadillac, ever since I can remember, it's a mark of class, elegance, but Cadillac has always been in the forefront of trying to make a car that's gas efficient. This vehicle gets anywhere from around 17 miles to the gallon to over 31 miles to the gallon. One thing I gotta mention, you know, if you really start to do a lot of jackrabbit starts and all of that, you're gonna get lower gas mileage. If you drive a little more conservatively, use the cruise control, keep the air in your tires, you'll get a lot better gas mileage. But this car really did impress me. In fact, Fergie was out in it. We went over to Paws Chicago with this automobile. Fergie went with, and my little miniature Pinscher. And we even take Mr. Kitty out once in a while. But if you're looking for a true luxury car that's affordable, this vehicle starts out a base price of $32,000. It's worth looking at. The days of Cadillac are here, and Cadillac is in the forefront of having an elegant car. I love what they did even with the rear window defogger. I mean, I really get into these automobiles, and I might notice little things that kind of turn me on. The rear window defogger has actually lines going down, and I believe about 4 spots. So the glass gets cleared almost immediately. But I was very impressed with the performance of the vehicle, the handling, the maneuverability. It's just the right size to where you can get in and out of anything, and a guy 6 foot tall can get in and out without any problem. If you're looking for a true luxury car, I suggest taking a ride over to a Cadillac dealership and driving the new CTX from Cadillac, a very elegant automobile. Now let's get into the topic that I've heard about a lot. A lot of people have an issue with stains from their pets, be it a dog or a cat. A lot of you have carpeting in your home. You rip out the carpeting and then you want to refinish the floor. Everybody's going to wooden floors because they're a lot cleaner, healthier for your family. Well, if you had a pet in the house and they did their business on the carpet and they went through to the wooden floor, you would actually have patches of black flooring. In fact, under Mr. Kitty's litter box, when I first got him, I didn't know nothing about cats. I put a cardboard box underneath his Tupperware litter container, and I was cleaning one day and I pulled out the box, and underneath the box my wood floor, even though it was sealed and everything like that, it was fine, turned black. Well, how do you get that black out of the wood? This is real interesting because it can be done. Number one, I want you to get a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket. I want you to fill it up with about 3 gallons of hot water, very hot water. I want you to take 1 cup, 12 ounces of Clorox bleach, put it in there. And then I want you to use any kind of a floor cleaner. Do not use ammonia. Use one of these disinfectant type of cleaners, these pine cleaners. Don't use the oil washes for your floor when you're doing this procedure to get the black out of your floor. Use just a regular, like a pine sol type of thing, a Handy Andy, that type of cleaner. What I want you to do is take a towel, moisten it, get it wet, you know, wring it out, and I want you to keep wiping that area. Let the towel sit on there for about 30 seconds, bring it up, wipe it in, wipe it off, wipe it in, wipe it off, take it back to the bucket, rinse it out real well. You're actually going to draw the urine stain out of the woodwork. If you're in process of refinishing a floor, I've heard this many a time. In fact, some of the floor sanding guys and that, when they go to a house, there's a few issues here, and that's why I tell you 1 cup of Clorox, not a half a gallon, not a quart, no, 1 cup of Clorox. And you have to be going over it and over it and over it and over it. I have done this where I have removed 90% of the stain out of the floor. Now the problem is this: if you really keep going and going and going, you're going to have a beautiful clean spot here, and the rest of the floor is going to be old. You can even take a Scotch-Brite pad. Let's say your floor is really bad. Take a Scotch-Brite pad, like a medium to coarse Scotch-Brite pad, soak that and scrub the area. But don't scrub. The urine stain is this big, the black stain is this big. Don't scrub that area. What I want you to do is scrub an area about a foot larger. So if it's a foot, you want to do 3 feet. And then go back and forth. Obviously, you want to get that main stain out. This really works. And I've done a lot of homes where we had a stain like in the heavy traffic area. And that area is always really dark because of the dirt. It wore out the sealer that you had on the floor, on the wood. And then wood is like a sponge. It absorbs everything. So all that dirt went in. By doing this cleaner, you'll get all that out. You'll get pet stains out too. Now let's get into some real interesting thing with carpeting and that. If you know where they did their business and did whatever, and you have light colored carpeting, you can actually take peroxide, pour it on there. I don't want you to even brush it or anything like that. Let it sit for about maybe 3 minutes or so. And then I want you to just take a towel or paper towel or something and just pat it, or a regular towel, and pat the area. You want to draw it up. The peroxide will draw things out. So you'll get that smell and that urine out of the furniture or the carpeting. If you have light colored furniture, it might work. You already have a stain there, so you might have a clean spot. I love this new, they came out years ago, it was called OxyClean. Well, a lot of people are making this oxygenated cleaner. You could actually mix this half and half with, put like a couple of scoops of this with peroxide, or just use this, put it in some hot water, and then put it on the area. It oxygenates the fabric and draws the stain out. This really works. This scrubbing stuff and pouring all kinds of cleaners on to, again, like a kill an odor with another friendly odor, and then it ends up smelling not so friendly. These things really work. The Clorox bleach, the floor cleaner to get stuff out of woodwork, out of the floors. An oxygenated cleaner will get stains out of furniture and stuff like that. If you have light colored stuff, and this is real important because peroxide might change the color of certain things. And if you're really trying to get something out, maybe cut this half and half with water. But it'll actually bring out whatever's in the fabric, carpeting, or whatever else. This is a great way to get rid of pet odors and stains. If you have pets as family members in your home, you probably have an issue with odors. Something that I ran into just recently that I love, and it just really blew me away. Usually when you buy an air freshener or some kind of a product that kills odors in your home, they emit an odor. And now you have a mixture of the bad odor you have in your house and something that's citrus or lemony or lilac or whatever the case may be, vanilla. And you have a combination of odors that may not be friendly to your body. I ran into a product, in fact, they sent me something, they sent me some samples in that, it's called Fresh Wave. I really loved this product, and what I did with it was I opened up, it's like little jelly beads, and I put it real close to my litter box, my cat litter box. And what it does is, instead of emitting an odor, it eats the bad odor in your house. And they have it for carpeting, for your car, for your home. It really works. It's available in the major stores. I really like the product. I put this by Mr. Kitty's litter box, and within a matter of a month or so, 6 weeks, all of the granules are completely gone. We have to go purchase some more of this. But if you want to eliminate odors in your home, even if you have mold or mildew or any of that stuff, you know, in the laundry hamper, anywhere you have an issue with odors in your home, you put a bottle of Fresh Wave, one of these little containers of Fresh Wave out, and it'll kill the odor. As you can see, he's not very photogenic. This guy is just really something else. Yesterday he hid when we were doing the segments about him, and he wouldn't come out. Like I said before, Mr. Kitty's got an attitude, but I love him. And I got to tell you one other cute thing about him. He loves my office. He loves to be in there. He loves to rip paper out of the copy machine and stuff, and he makes me laugh. So when I'm writing shows like this and doing segments like this, he's keeping me happy, and hopefully it's overflowing into the shows that we're doing. If I can give you one great tip from today's show, have your pet spayed and neutered. You know, it's amazing. City of Chicago is trying to pass legislation to license animals and do all kinds of, I think it's silly things. You know what? They're just going to put more laws on the books that nobody's going to be able to enforce. If they want to do some good for family members like this, my Mr. Kitty, you get something going on with the government or some way where people could take their pets and get them spayed and neutered. Some kind of government funding for that, and you'll eliminate the problem that we're having. You know, over 5 million pets get put to sleep every year, get euthanized because there's not enough homes for them. Boy, I couldn't live without this little guy. He's just so sweet. He's so funny. Well, for the Homeland Improvements television show, I'm Rich Zadkowski, and this is Mr. Kitty, and you have him to thank for today's program. My little boy. Right? Yeah.